Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all doing well during the course of the lockdown. This is my next lesson. It's going to be on nouns, and we know this is part of the basics, but more often than not, we get confused with the different types of nouns, and we're unable to identify or classify them within a specific type. And today I'm going to go through what a noun is, as well as what are the types of nouns and how to go about classifying them into those types. So basically, a noun is a word used to name a person, animal, place, thing, or a complex idea. And in a sentence, you can have more than one noun. And the first noun I'm going to discuss with you is the common noun. Now, these are names of people, animals, places, and things. And a common noun is used for ordinary things. It is sometimes called a concrete noun because it can be touched. So if I were to give you a sentence, I ate an apple, apple would be the common noun. Another sentence, the teacher is marking a book. And here the concrete or common nouns would be teacher and book. Moving on to the proper nouns. Now this one people tend to get it wrong, but it's actually really simple. So a proper noun is the specific name of somebody or something. Now listen to what I said carefully, right? Specific name. So, in other words, it is used to name people, places, days, months, educational subjects, and titles of films, books, and songs, as well as brand names. Now, proper nouns always start with a capital letter, which means that, yes, at the beginning of the sentence, you'll use a capital letter. But let's just say, I'm going to give you some examples now, but let's just say the word John, the name John, is in the sentence, and it's in the middle of the sentence. You will use a capital letter to start that name anyway. So I'm going to go through some examples very quickly. Example 1. My name is Susan. And Susan will be with a capital S and identified as the proper noun there. Another example. I live in Hummingbird Avenue, Port Elizabeth. Now this one can be confusing, but remember, Hummingbird Avenue is a place, comma, Port Elizabeth, that's also a place. So Hummingbird Avenue, Port Elizabeth will then be identified as the proper noun in this case. So remember that specific names, and Hummingbird Avenue, Port Elizabeth is a specific name. Another example, my term mark was 75% for history. And history is a subject that we learn in school. So history is with a capital H and it is identified as a proper noun. So goes with any other subject, mathematics, English home language, English first additional language, Afrikaans. The list goes on. There's many subjects that we do. Those subjects have to be capitalized. Now things are starting to get interesting. Abstract noun. Now an abstract noun is a noun that we cannot see, hear, smell, taste, or feel. So how do we identify these? Because it can be really tricky, right? Now I'm going to go through some sentences and I'm going to show you or point out how this can be easily identified as a noun. I am full of anger. Anger is an abstract noun. Can you see it? Can you hear it? Can you smell it? Can you taste it? Or can you feel it? Absolutely not, right? Maybe you can feel the way it's expressed, but the actual concept or word, you cannot, it's not tangible, right? Another example, she must tell the truth, and truth is the abstract noun there. Now moving on to collective nouns. Collective nouns is used to describe a group or collection of two or more people, places, things, or ideas. So just as we did common nouns, and just as we've done proper nouns and so forth, now a collective noun, the description is in the word itself, collective, meaning like a group or a collection, right, of nouns. So he shoveled a pack of cards, pack, because that's indicating a collection or a collection of cards. Or you could say a swarm of flies just entered the kitchen, and the word swarm would be identified as the collective noun, because collectively a swarm of flies. If it was one fly, you'd say a fly, but now that it's a collective amount of them, you'll use the word swarm. So in that aspect, you can easily see that collective nouns can be distinctive when you're identifying them. Proper noun, capital letter, a specific name, that's easy to identify. Abstract noun, we are going to remember that it's not something that's tangible, so that's also quite easy to remember. And then common noun is the everyday things. So in essence, it's quite simple to actually remember our nouns. And then before I conclude, I just want to go through some other abstract noun examples with you. And I'm going to name specific suffixes and how that ties in with an abstract noun, how it's easy to identify them. So the suffix ance, words, some examples of those could be tolerance, disturbance, elegance. Right? Again, is it tangible? No, that's how we remember it. Then there's ence, that's another suffix. So patience, obedience, diligence. Then there's ism, enthusiasm, favoritism. Then there's ity, unity, quality, sincerity. Then there's ment, fulfillment, enjoyment, movement. Then there's another suffix, ness, and you could say foolishness, laziness, goodness. Then there's dom, like boredom, freedom. Then there's ship, and common one, friendship. Then there's tion, there's communication, imagination, sophistication. So I just went through a few suffixes and some examples of abstract nouns there, just in case it confuses you. So I just segregated that part for a bit, so it's easier for you when you're doing the nouns to actually, okay, this is easy for me to identify now. And I really do hope that this video has been helpful to you.